What is it that the prophet talked about at that time? Well, as being someone who's telling you the story of truth, it is now the reason that I am going to tell you how it is that you are able to get to this point on the planet Earth. It is known amongst all of the people of knowledge that each bearer of the truth at one point came and did this thing that the prophet did that day. He began from the morning and didn't stop. And he told them everything. He told them everything. He told them the story. And he started from the beginning and talked about the light. And he told us, the companion said, what had happened and what the story was and what we hadn't known. And he told us everything that had occurred. And he continued to tell us everything that has happened on the earth of the light and the dark, and told us all the way to what will happen to ourselves and what will happen in the future till the end. Every person who tells the story to their people at one time is demanded to reveal the truth of the story and do so in a certain way. As I said, I read the statement in the hadith but didn't even understand it at that time. But as I was sitting here, as you are listening to me that night, I prayed to the Lord Most High to grant me the ability to speak the words and explain to you what is the importance of the great Eid celebration on the earth. And as I was sitting there, asking and seeking the light, I realized the meaning of this statement or this event in the history of the prophet. And I thought to myself, how do I explain to them the importance of the great holy house and the great Eid? We're saying this is the great Eid, or the great festival of the believers, of the holders of the light on the earth, of the final revelation of the word of the Lord Most High, the creator of all of the universe, and that the bearers of the light on this planet are there, and all of us who call ourselves Muslims are bowing down. And so as I decided and did what was correct and true, to say, for once and for all, someone must tell them the story. What if I really did explain the celebration of the great Eid and explain to them the true story of the light so that they understood the challenge of Abraham in our tale? Oh my Lord, let me have from my descendants people who bear the truth, and let me build a house to your name. My Lord, the only one who gives life and takes life. And so I decided, by the will of the Lord Most High, and I decided to sit down here and record in front of you. And I said, Bismillah, please God help me to tell the story. I gotta look for it. Here, I wrote down this one page, and I thought to myself, how do I explain this? Well, it's Eid, it's a noble occasion, light, Adam, Noah, Abraham, what? Jacob, Joseph, Moses, well, David, Solomon, okay, Jesus, Muhammed. I wrote down those names and thought, okay, how do I do this? And then I realized, I gotta use a piece of paper. I just have to trust in the Lord and just start telling the story. I am claiming to be nothing special, except a person who has understood the light and knows how to use the words. But I must admit to you, still, even at that moment, I don't think I understood the story. And as all people who reveal the truth to a people, they always admit that somehow the Lord just guided them. The only way I can describe it is that as I said, please, Lord, let me begin to tell the tale, all of the information that I had, it was like clarity of light. And I just began to tell the tale so deep and strange until this very moment. But since I'm saying that something amazing happened, I'm claiming that for the first time on this earth, that somebody is coming and telling you a tale that you've never heard. Why am I able to make this claim? Well, let's look at the situation objectively, right? We say that if someone's telling the story of the truth of the light, that there are certain signs for how it should be. We must know that there are always certain fundamentals. There's only one God. God created angels. God created jinns. Depending on which group you are in society, you didn't know that fact, and that's unfortunate. If you're a normal white person just turning this on and don't understand that jinns or aliens or other creatures throughout our universe, then you need to go back and listen to the story, because you're hearing the whole skinny today, brothers and sisters. Now, we said that the Lord Most High made Adam the most superior of race and taught Adam the names of all things. And Adam continued to tell his children this story that I'm telling you. But many of them forgot and didn't understand, and that Adam was told that there would be prophets in succession, each bringing the word, the true revelation of God. As always, the word of the Lord is by the word, as all of the sons of Adam are able to speak. And as we said, some of the other races don't communicate verbally, they use music and sound. And so, as I said, I'm trying to just pinpoint some details as we rush to the end here, so that you see everything must make sense. There can be no gaps in the story of the truth. And that we've gotten to the point in the story where we've said, the Lord Most High has told all the sons of Adam that you live and you die, and you will be raised by the Lord Most High, who's the only one who gives life and takes life. And of course, he can raise you again. And your soul is everlasting, and it will be judged by the Lord, and there is heaven and hell. But that now we have gotten to an interesting point. We said that in the chain of the story, we are going to get to the seal of the prophets. And because we are getting to the seal of the prophets, that means we're getting to the end of the tale. And so the parts that I'm telling you now have gotten to get weirder and weirder. And because we are getting to the end of the tale, it is at the point where the final fundamental, if you've been listening to the fundamentals, that Allah, the one we call the God, is greater and higher and more glorious than anything you can imagine. No symbol or image or cross or triangle can depict him. He is only referenced as the light, as we have explained throughout this tale. And no person who tells you the story of truth will refer to anything about the Lord other than Nur, light, the lightest of lights. But someone who tells you the story must be able to do something even more amazing than that. Now you must understand, this is just a little caveat, that because we're telling you the story of truth, that every single story that the sons of Adam, we've said, remember in this story that this has been a war between light versus darkness, and all of the sons of Adam are to remember the light. And the believers only remind the people of the story, and that we are fighting the darkness, and that Satan, Lucifer, was the leader of the other races and fell of the light and became the leader of the dark, and they have always been there to deceive us. Now, of mankind, there are dark souls who deceive and corrupt. The Lord Most High knows what is the truth of their souls, whether they are ignorant or ill-willed. But of the other races, there are also benevolent. And if you don't understand that, go back and see that we have said the prophet the final prophet was given the sign of the moon to all of mankind, but all of the other races. That the Quran, the final book, is the revelation for all of mankind, but also to the other races. That the whole world has been made pure for you to pray anywhere on it. And all of the other planets are pure for the sake of Allah. And that the Prophet Muhammad is not only the prophet to all of mankind, but also to the jinn.